looking great big gold ring.
Right, this video is about repair of an Equinox EQ800 coil. A friend was detecting with it and whatever happened, not sure, but both tabs broke off. Luckily he's kept all the bits, which will make a big difference. The coil itself looks pretty new, just unfortunately without tags, ears, it's not going to work very well. First job I'm going to do is just clean all the surfaces on the coil. I'm using a cleaning alcohol to facilitate that. Just to make sure all the surfaces are nice and clear. This is going to be a couple of stage process. First job I'm going to do is use an epoxy resin to actually glue back the original ears in place. But that by itself is not going to be strong enough, so I'm going to need to add some extra support braces either side of the coil, and I'll show you more about that later on. Just so I have the size of the support bracket, I've just drawn on a piece of paper the size of the template I need, and I'll use that for constructing the support bracket. One thing I noticed on this coil is there's a much thicker bridge just here in these places. The other coils I've repaired are actually a lot deeper, completely different shape. So this one hopefully will actually be a little bit better in the repair, but let's see how it goes. I'm going to mix up some epoxy and start working on that next. My epoxy resin of choice is JB Weld. It produces a very strong bond. A lot of the clear standard epoxies just don't bond properly to the plastic, so I'm only going to need a very small amount at this point. So just mix up a couple of little squeezes. A couple of peas. There we go. Once it's mixed, it goes to a grey colour. Probably put a little bit too much, but difficult to get out the right amount. I'm just going to enough to cover the two sides. Don't be tempted to use too much, because otherwise it will just be wasted. That. This particular epoxy takes 24 hours to harden fully, You can get they do a rapid version which is a bit quicker, but I've not tried that. I'm not sure if the strength is diminished because it's more rapid. Just need a little bit more on there. The important thing is try to make sure it's all set up in place and that it doesn't move. I think that's more or less about right. I'll come and check it in a little while just to make sure it hasn't sagged. I think that will probably do for now. Any excess I can grind off with a power tool. A slight twist on that one. There we go. Right, so I'm going to let that dry and come back tomorrow to look at it. Okay, I have printed the replacement or extra tabs. I've shaped one so it so it now fits into here, and I've got to do the same with this one, the other one. So that'll take me a few minutes, then I'll be able to glue them in place. The first tab is in place and I've glued it, so I've got to let the glue dry, and later today I'll flip the coil over and do the other side. So it's had a good coat of epoxy, and I've also built up a little bit of a well in the well there, so it makes it a bit stronger on the side of the coil. It's now the next day and everything is dried. All I need to do is get a tool and just smooth off all the edges and finish it. So let me do that. I'll stop the recording because it'd be quite noisy. Okay, that has smoothed it all down. Just going to remove the dust, and then go to the last stage of just matching up where it's grey. I'm going to use a little bit of enamel paint just to blend it in. Just remove this little roughness and rough edges, and just check that the bolt fits through fine. There we go, perfect. Have a tin of enamel matte black paint. Give that a stir because it probably needs it. Actually no, it's a bit thick. Still hanging in there, just about. That's dissolved, and I'm just touching up where the grey is, and it will just blend in. Once it's dried, you'll hardly notice that there's been a repair taking place. Go. So it just needs that to dry and the job's done. Of course, a friend is going to have to give me half his gold he finds this year for repairing his coil. Ha! Fat chance. There we go. Job done.